Three men in fake police uniforms broke down my gate and searched my property without a warrant, claiming HOA enforcement authority. They had no idea they'd just committed multiple federal crimes in front of a sitting federal judge who'd been sending criminals to prison for 25 years. My name is Judge Catherine Marshall, and I serve on the United States District Court for the Northern District. For 25 years, I presided over federal criminal cases, sentenced thousands of criminals, and built a reputation as one of the toughest judges on the federal bench. After decades of 12-hour days in federal court, I'd finally found my sanctuary, a private 50-acre estate in Pine Valley, complete with wooded trails, a small lake, and the kind of solitude that lets a federal judge decompress from the constant parade of criminals and lawyers. My property was fully secured with proper fencing, clear, no trespassing signs, and electronic gates that required a security code for entry. I valued my privacy, and after years of presiding over cases involving dangerous defendants, security wasn't just a preference. It was a necessity. That peace lasted exactly 3 months, until Pine Valley Estates was built on the adjacent property. The new development brought with it Harrison Webb, the HOA president and self-appointed community sheriff. Webb was a former mall security guard who'd discovered his calling in neighborhood power politics. Mid-40s, cheap suit, fake badge, and the kind of Napoleon complex that made him dangerous when given any authority over others. His first contact was a certified letter demanding access to my property for community compliance inspection. Judge Marshall, it read, Pine Valley HOA regulations require annual property inspections to ensure compliance with community standards. Please schedule your mandatory inspection within 30 days. I called him personally. Mr. Webb, my property predates your development by 15 years and is not subject to your HOA jurisdiction. Your inspection request is denied. His response was ominous. Judge, one way or another, my enforcement team will be conducting that inspection. Webb's harassment campaign started with trespassing. His enforcement team, 3 ex-security guards with fake police uniforms and surplus tactical gear, would walk my property lines, taking photos and making notes on clipboards. When I installed additional security cameras, they started testing my gates, rattling fences, and shining flashlights through my windows at night. I documented everything, building a case file the way I'd learned during my prosecutorial days. The escalation came when Webb filed a lawsuit claiming my noncompliance was affecting his community's property values. His legal theory was that since my land was surrounded by his development, I should be forced to submit to his HOA authority. The lawsuit was frivolous and would be dismissed, but it revealed Webb's true intentions. He wanted my land. His development company had offered to buy my property 3 times, and each rejection had made him more desperate. The breaking point came on a Saturday morning. I was in my study, reviewing case files for Monday's docket, when my security system started blaring. Multiple motion sensors, gate alarms, and perimeter alerts going off simultaneously. I checked my monitors and felt my blood pressure spike. 3 men in tactical gear and police-style uniforms had cut through my main gate and were walking up my driveway like they owned the place. I grabbed my phone and started recording as I walked to my front door. 25 years on the federal bench had taught me exactly what I was witnessing: impersonation of federal officers, criminal trespass, breaking and entering, and conspiracy under color of law. Gentlemen, I called through my security intercom. You are trespassing on private property. Identify yourselves and state your authority. The lead fake officer, tall, buzz-cut, mall cop swagger, held up a plastic badge. We're Pine Valley Community Police conducting a compliance inspection. Open your door. I see no valid warrant. You have no jurisdiction here. Leave immediately. We have authority under HOA regulations. This is official police business. That's when I knew they'd crossed the line from harassment into federal crime territory. Impersonating law enforcement officers is a felony. Claiming police authority they don't possess is a federal crime. And doing it while trespassing on a federal judge's property was the stupidest decision they'd ever made. I opened my front door and stepped onto my porch, phone recording everything. Gentlemen, I'm Judge Catherine Marshall, United States District Court. You are committing multiple federal felonies. You have 5 seconds to leave my property before I call the FBI. The lead fake cop actually laughed. Lady, I don't care if you're the Queen of England. We're conducting official business here. Wrong answer. I speed-dialed FBI Special Agent Robert Kane, who'd worked with my court on dozens of federal cases over the years. Agent Kane, this is Judge Marshall. I have 3 individuals impersonating federal officers who have illegally entered my property claiming law enforcement authority. I need immediate federal response. Judge, we're en route. Keep recording everything. The fake cops were getting nervous now. They'd realized that their victim wasn't some helpless homeowner they could intimidate. We're just doing our jobs, the tall one stammered. Your job is impersonating federal officers. I replied, still recording. Your job is criminal trespass on federal judicial property. Your job is conspiracy to violate civil rights under color of law. I could see the panic starting to set in. They'd gone from confident enforcers to realizing they might be in serious trouble. Gentlemen, you've just committed violations of 18 U.S.C. 912, impersonating federal officers. 18 U.S.C. 241, conspiracy against rights under color of law. 18 U.S.C. 1341, mail fraud for your fake credentials. And about 6 other federal statutes that carry mandatory prison sentences. FBI vehicles were pulling into my driveway now. 3 black SUVs with agents in full tactical gear. The same agents who'd executed search warrants I'd signed were now arresting the criminals who'd violated my home. The federal investigation was swift and thorough. Agent Kane's team discovered that Webb's entire operation was criminal, fake police credentials, unlicensed security company, fraud conspiracy, and a pattern of intimidating homeowners throughout the county. The fake officers confessed immediately. They'd been hired by Webb to handle difficult residents, using whatever methods necessary. The fake uniforms, badges, and police authority were all part of Webb's scheme to terrorize people into submission. But the real prize was Webb himself. The investigation revealed he'd been running similar scams in 3 states, using fake law enforcement to extort property owners and steal land through fraudulent legal proceedings. Federal charges were extensive conspiracy, wire fraud, mail fraud, impersonating federal officers, civil rights violations, and racketeering under the RICO Act. My 50 acres are still perfectly private and secure, and Webb is spending the next decade in federal prison, where he can explain to his fellow inmates how he tried to burglarize a federal judge's home. If you've got stories about HOA criminals getting federal justice, drop them in the comments below. Hit subscribe for more federal courthouse stories.